Howdy Stampers! So I decided to do a quick video for you today. Actually, I'm going to do a start to finish with a stamp set that I am going to really miss. It's one of the retiring stamp sets with the 2015-16 catalog, so it will not be in the new 2016-17 catalog. It's actually called, what did I do with it? It's called Choose Happiness. And it's one of my favorites. It's a very collagey, vintagey sort of stamp set. So I love to play with this one. And we did a card at card class recently with this stamp set. So I thought I would reproduce it for you here. And I like to actually surprise you a little bit. So I'm going to actually just start stamping it. And then you can kind of see the finished product. So I'm going to start with the flower image first. This makes a great background image. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp it randomly here on my Whisper White cardstock, and I cut that cardstock to 4 by 5 1/4. Oh, I lied. I'm sorry. It's 5 by 3 3/4, 3 3/4 by 5, because I'm actually going to layer it on a piece that is the 4 by 5 1/4. So again, we're starting with 3 3/4 by 5 for that one. And as you can see, I just stamped the pink pattern, or the flower, with a pink Blushing Bride ink pad and a random pattern. And I'm doing a top fold on this card just because it's my new favorite thing, and I don't know where my bone folder is, so we're going to pretend I'm doing that with my bone folder. Okay, so now before I put this down, I'm actually going to put it down on here. Before I do that though, I'm going to add a little bit of the Blushing Bride twine. For those of you that went to Cape Cod Creative Escape this spring, you got some of this fabulous twine in your one of your pillow gifts. I'm just going to wrap that twice and tie that in a little bow here. Sorry, this is probably hard for you to see, but you guys know how to tie a bow, right? And I find with this baker's twine, it's actually easier if you tie it in a knot first. So I'm going to make a little knot so it's nice and secure. So now I know that that is tight. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tie my bow. And I learned a great little tip on stage a couple of weeks ago, which is the Stampin' Up convention. If you notice, I don't know if you can see it, but see here, right here, is the little dent where it was stored on the little cardboard piece. So it kind of stays dented, but it's just like curling ribbon. So if you actually hold on to your little bow and pull it along the string, it actually curls it like ribbon. So it will get rid of that little dent, and it makes it like little curly cues. So see, it's a great little tip when you have those little pieces that are kind of awry. I'm actually going to snip all of that off now that I just did that, but I just wanted to show you that little trick so that if you are using a longer piece and it's going all wonky on you, just use your ribbons, like your curling ribbon for a gift package, and it's all better. So now I'm going to take my snail adhesive. Would have been great to have that out and ready, but you know, good thing it's all right here next to me on my station. I'm going to put a little bit of tape along this, and I'm going to tape this piece down to a piece of Blushing Bride cardstock. And again, this Blushing Bride cardstock is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that down on my card base, which, as I said, I did as a top fold. So I basically just took an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock and folded it, or cut it rather, in half on the short side at 4 1/4. So you get one long piece that you can just fold down. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick the, this piece on top. And then I punched out a circle with my 2.5 inch circle punch. And this is a little trickier because I actually have wood mount blocks, but I am a wood purist for the most part. I love my wood blocks. So I'm going to go ahead and wing it, and we're going to do this leaf image. I'm going to actually stamp off first, and then I'm going to go to my circle. And I wanted a little bit of the branch part to be there because I'm going to try and sit my bird right on top of there. We'll see how I do with that. Nothing like a little pressure, right? So I'm taking the crumb cake ink again. This time I'm not going to stamp off. I'm going to go directly to my paper. And I'm going to see how I did. Yeah, not bad. He's coming in for a landing. See? I don't know if you can see that. So that's going to go next on my card. I'm going to kind of stick that just above where my ribbon is. So we'll stick that here. And then of course you want a sentiment on your greeting, on your card. So I'm going to use the Memento Black, and I'm going to use the greeting that's in the Choose Happiness stamp set. It's called When I Need a Friend, You're There. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that on a piece of old olive. As you can see, I caught the edge a little bit on that one, so we're going to go ahead and do that again. Instant replay. Okay, make sure that's not on there this time. And then again, as I always tell most of you in class, which I didn't listen to, straight up, or straight down rather, and straight up. And then you'll, no rocking, no pushing too hard, and then you'll get that nice, pretty greeting. And I'm just going to take my scissors and cut some banner ends in this. You could use your little triple banner punch. I am not, for a couple of reasons. One, I let somebody borrow it. And for two, this one's a little smaller. I think the smallest size in the banner piece is like an inch, I guess. And this is about 3/4 of an inch, I think. You could still do it on that punch. But, sometimes I feel old school is best. So I'm just going to do my little snips, hand snipped rather. So now you get the little banner edge. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of snail on there and stick that just above my ribbon. And now actually it looks like the bird is landing on my greeting instead, so that's perfect. And ta-da, you have a finished simple card. Hope you liked it.